You should see some days we're nuts.
Here we go. Hey, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Talk TV, where we believe that coaching and coaches are an essential part of human development. You'll learn how having a guide in your own personal development can change your life, improve your relationships, and enhance your own work experience. I'm Jason Baffrey. This is Rhonda Boyle, and you are watching Coach Talk TV, where we have coaching conversations that matter.
Absolutely, we do, Jason. We are down to the wire here, y'all. It is funny. We have, what do we call those? First world problems with technology. And we're like, are we on? Are we on? And we have something new. And we're like, I think, So if y'all saw any of that at the beginning, just know that we're figuring all this out, aren't we?
And I think there's a delay from when I actually hit to go live and like we're on, but it doesn't show me that we're on until like a couple of seconds later. So,
well, you know what?
And you're being all wacky like right before then. So,
who, me? What do you mean, me?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, we are so excited to have you join us, and we would like to know if you're here, and we'd like to chat with you, but guess what? Facebook makes us have permission. So I popped in the little permission right there. Here you go, and it's on the banner. Look at our new toys.
Yeah.
For any of you who have hung out with us before, we do have new toys. Hey, don't we? Like,
yeah.
Let's appreciate our audience right now.
Yes. Oops, wrong one. Oh, I can't make it.
Come on.
I'm laughing.
Oh, that wasn't it? Oh, no.
Hey, there we go.
Is that clapping? It almost sounds like rain. I don't know.
Wow.
Sounds like rain. Anyway, we got an upgrade.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I don't know. It may be too complicated for me.
Well, it might be. So we appreciate you guys hanging it with us as we bump along, trying to learn our new stuff. And you know what? Hey, the new year, this is 2020. And I think a lot of people are looking at changes and are making changes. We are making changes. And guess what?
Yeah.
That's not always easy, is it?
It happens. No, it's not easy. And sometimes even when you declare those changes, you make, whether they be those resolutions or like we talked about yesterday in our first day of the Discover Coaching series here on Coach Talk TV, we talked about our words for the new year of 2020. And sometimes it just seems like once you kind of make that declaration and start that momentum, obstacles suddenly start being thrown in your way and you start kind of being knocked this way and that to challenge you in your new direction.
I know, right? It's like there's a heightened awareness around something. Like Debbie says change is good. Debbie Lissauer is in the house. And if any of y'all did not see our debut show yesterday, you're going to want to run over to Coach Talk TV and take a look, because we got to spend time with the amazing Debbie Lissauer. Good to see you, dear. Yeah, change is good. It's just, you know what? Who is it? It was a general, or maybe it was somebody in World War II who said, when you're going through, HE double hockey sticks, you want to keep going.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes when you enter into a change situation, you better keep on moving.
Right.
Or you might get stuck there with all that change, and that's not what you want, right?
Yeah. But from a personal development standpoint, there are ways to kind of help you along, and one of the ways to do that is find a fabulous coach like Rhonda,
or Jason,
or one of the many other great coaches that exist out there to help you with your journey, help keep you focused, and keep you on your path.
That's it. Yeah. So we are here to promote coaches and make sure that you get an opportunity to hear from and learn from the top coaches in the world. And today we have an amazing coach. We're going to introduce her in a minute, Cynthia Stewart. She's out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. But before we get there, you know what? We want to hear from our first amazing sponsor.
Yeah. Have you ever wondered how to ask for that raise or a promotion, but you're not sure how? Are you still putting off going for your dream job? Maybe you're looking for a total career change, or you're trying to reinvent yourself after retirement. We've got great news for you. It's 2020. It's going to be your year. It's not enough just to live. We deserve to thrive in all areas of our lives. Coach Talk TV is all about connecting you to a coach that can get you to the next level of your journey. And we do that. We find our coaches through soar.com. That's SOAR.com. You can find a new coach to help you with all of your needs and all of your personal development.
Amen. Absolutely. Best coaches on the planet. So let's talk to one of them that we have in the house today, Cynthia Stewart. She is an MBA and a business expert, providing strengths coaching and consulting to business leaders and their teams. Those who work with her say that they have been able to exceed their business goals by overcoming their challenges and unleashing the limitless potential within each team member. Cynthia Stewart, come on up and say, hey, hey, hey.
Hey there.
There
Hey
she
there,
is.
Rhonda, Jason. So good to be with you guys today.
Good to
Great to
see
have
you. I
love
know.
the topic of change. I've been working with people on change all my career. So I'm very comfortable helping people through change. Love that.
Why do you think we don't like it?
Well, I always tell people it's because it's like a baby with a diaper. They're the only ones that really like change. The rest of us, right? I mean, they are. The rest of us, it's because we have to learn new habits. We have to learn new technology. We have to learn.
Mhm.
We have to learn. Now, some of us that love to learn, love change. I love to learn. So I love change. But yeah, it's so typical. And we just have to expect the resistance. The resistance comes from, because it's new. We have to create new habits.
Yeah, I like change as long as I get to do the changing. It's when change comes on me, I'm like, not so much.
Yeah.
Yep. We want to, in other words, we want to be in charge of the change, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a
yeah.
reminder that we're not in charge.
Yes. Yeah. Especially with technology. We're never in charge.
Right.
Yeah. We're never in charge of that technology. I get that.
Yeah, there you go. Jason?
Cynthia, let's get right into it. How do you find out what your untapped potential is?
Oh, what a great question. Okay, so first of all, I'm a leadership nerd, and I've been running events called the January series and the Leader Talks and the Global Leadership Summit, and I get to hear from all these leaders. One of them that I listened to was Carly Fiorina, who addressed an audience with Global Leadership Summit, and she said something that stuck with me. And she said, the only unlimited resource on the planet is human potential. And, I've thought about that. I mean, what other resource is unlimited? Time's limited, everything else we use is limited, but not human potential. So I just have come to embrace that concept. And I want you to know, audience, anyone in the audience, you have unlimited potential. Hear me on this. You have unlimited potential. But I want to tell you something. It's not the same as saying you can do anything you want. Now, that's the lie. We've turned the unlimited potential into a bit of a lie. We're saying you can do anything you want, but that's not true. So the best way to know is, first of all, do something that you look for those things that you really enjoy doing. So look at Rhonda. I mean, she loves it. She can talk 24/7 and she never gets tired of it. I mean, she's got something that she loves doing. So look for those things that you love. And that tells you where potential is.
I love the fact that we never run out of potential. Like we always have room to grow, even if, we always have something that we can do, if we're open to understanding that we always have potential. I think that a lot of times people get to a certain age and it's like they're done. They don't see any more potential. They don't see any more growth opportunity. And so then they sit down on the couch, for the next 4 or 5 years before they, I don't know.
Yeah, it's another myth, another lie is that somehow you come to the end of your learning, the end of your potential, and you don't ever, 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 not throughout any part of your lifetime.
I know, that's amazing, really.
Yeah.
So help us understand how you can develop potential into better outcomes. How does that all work?
Yeah, so your outcomes are essentially the results that you get based on the effort you give. So that's your outcome, right? And we always get results, whether we like them or not, we always get results. So what we want to make sure of is that we line up our efforts to truly get what the results that we want. So there's two things that you can do. Isn't that great? There's two things you can do. Two things that you can do to develop your potential for better outcomes, better results, things that you really want. The first one is to just look at your successes in your life. Everybody, no matter what age, has successes in their life. Look at the successes you've had, the results you've got when you felt most successful. So that's the first thing you can do. The next thing, the number two that you can do is look for ways to perpetuate that success. So, for example, turns out that the way my talents line up is I'm really good at leading teams through change. And so when I worked in corporate America, that's what I always did. Always did that. When I'm working out on my own, I don't exactly have a team. So how do I perpetuate that success? Well, the answer is kind of before me, right? Well, you've got to work with leaders and their teams to help them be successful. So I looked at the areas where I was successful, and I identified how I could do that and perpetuate that success no matter what the situation was. So that's what you can do.
Yeah, you're talking about doing more of what you A, already do well, and B, love to do. And then I'm going to add a C, it gives you energy.
Yes. Yeah. Energy. And, I think about my daughter who loved, when she was a young girl who loved doing pirouettes in the center of the floor. So, of course, what did she do? She danced. Right. And my son who just loved figuring things out. And so what is he? A software engineer. So it's when you raise people in there and when you work with people and help them in their zones where you see that potential, I mean, they do what they love to do. So it gives them energy, they're very enthusiastic, they embrace it. It's a great place to be, is working in your potential.
Yeah, I think when you're working in an area that you are not strong, you're weak in, it's not your favorite thing, it prevents you from developing that potential.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So I understand. I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk about the technology. And on the one hand, like I was a programmer at the beginning of my career. So it's not like I'm uncomfortable around technology, but really that's not what gives me my most satisfaction. So I can do it and make myself do it, but I get energized when I'm with people and working in teams and getting outcomes. That's what energizes me.
Right. So just because you can do something doesn't mean that that's really fulfilling your potential. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it just because you can. And that's where that myth comes in that, you can do anything you want to do. That has hurt more people to believe that they're supposed to be good at areas that they really can never be. I will never be a ping pong champion. I'm sorry. I just never will be. I mean, the people that have potential there,
I may have a little potential there. I just want y'all to know. I was a ping pong
I don't have
chick.
potential there. And I probably will never be doing pirouettes on a stage. I mean, that's not going to be something that I'm going to be doing. Some of that is sort of obvious and we laugh about it a little bit, but it is amazing to me, the people that set out with this idea that they can do anything they want. And what do they end up being? Highly frustrated because the things that they're trying, they don't have any talent for. They may like it, but it's, they're not really good at it.
Yeah. Cynthia, how do you think, I mean, a lot of that comes from parenting, really. I mean, a lot of parents, tell their children, you can do anything you want to do, be anything you want to be. And I think there is some sort of good to that. But as we get to know more about the strengths and we look at strengths and everything, we may be misleading our children in some ways by telling them that through all of their lives, especially as they become teenagers and younger adults. Am I incorrect?
No, I absolutely agree with you. There was something that hit my brain. You pick up these things as you go, and it's sort of like train a child up in the way that they go, and they'll always, right? And I remember it as train them up in their bents. And I can't find where that expression anymore, but it was one of the things where, what are their bents? In other words, what do they lean into, right? What do they kind of bend into or lean into? Where do they seem to really light up? And so absolutely, a lot of this is just by being a good observer, a good listener. As a boss, if you're just watching and observing your employees, you can find out you can see when their eyes light up. You can see when they're struggling. You can see and work with them on identifying their potential and where they really want to be working. So leaders have a great job. Parents, anyone that's helping lead others has that opportunity to help be that light for the person to say, listen, your eyes really light up when you do this, or you seem to really enjoy this. You even smile. I see that you're singing while you're cleaning those tables. I mean,
right.
You can watch people. The way that they act says a lot about their personality and if they're in their zone, the zone that they really love working in.
Yeah,
it's a pattern for them.
Yes.
They keep showing up at the same place.
Yes.
Right?
They do. Yeah. It's a pattern.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch children. But I work with leadership teams, and I coach
they could be
leaders.
children. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
they're just older
there
children.
is a child in us, and we need to honor that child, because that child can lead us into what our potential is. So absolutely, we want to not forget the child inside of us as well, because I think I think that's where a lot of our potential lies, is in that curious child zone that we have.
Right.
But I work with leaders, and honestly, there's no age limit to how you can develop your talents. There's no age limit. And there's no age limit to your potential. It happens your whole lifetime. And it's really awesome to help people as a coach or as a leader or as a parent uncover what's really a place where they're going to shine and really do well.
Yeah, Debbie is saying that there's such drudgery to force yourself into an area that's not you. Why would we want to do that to our children? Oh, I know. So they're well-rounded.
Yeah, another one of those myths.
I know, right?
Yeah. Let's sharpen those edges, right? Let's make them do math 6 hours a day so they can learn how to do math. You love math, don't you, Rhonda?
I might throw up a minute here.
Yeah. I mean, to some extent, we have to learn how to deal with situations where we don't have talent.
Yeah.
In school, sometimes we're really not good in a subject, and we need help. We need tutors, we need coaches, we need parents working with us to help us learn the basics. So sometimes we can't step away from doing things. I mean, honestly, if we could do 100% of the day what we love to do, that's a zone that we all kind of think. We think retirement is going to be that. That's another myth.
Right.
You're not going to find that in talent. It's
not in my vocabulary.
No. So we think that we're going to get to the space is now, the time is now to find out what you love doing and do it.
Sure.
And to help others do the same.
And on that note, perfect segue into our word about our next sponsor, Mr. Baffrey.
Absolutely. If you're a parent, you absolutely know that parenting can be difficult. Kids do things that we don't understand. We can sometimes see as being problematic, but it's really our own inability to understand how they're functioning that is the real issue. But I tell you, there is hope. The new Incredible Kids Assessment is now available for parents to find the joy in parenting again. Learn the secret to unlocking your child's potential, gain a better understanding of who your child is, and how to parent to their unique gifts. If you're ready to understand yourself, your children, and how to guide them to success, I encourage you to go to Baffrey Coaching on Facebook. It's a Facebook page. Look up Baffrey Coaching, and you can find more information there, and we can get you connected with the assessments and a whole lot more.
There you go, Baffrey Coaching. That is you and the amazing Katie Baffrey.
Right.
There you go. You guys go find them out on Facebook because they are offering amazing tools for parents so that you can start to understand your kids and not go crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yep.
So let's pick up here with Cynthia real quick.
Yeah.
Help us understand, like, we have these desires and these things that we love to do. How can we now take that into, creating performance-based outcomes, markers, KPIs, whatever the indice that we're looking for?
Yeah.
How can we do that?
Yeah. So first, the first thing you need to do is be really clear about what results you want. I mean, that's the place to start. So what do I really want? If I look out ahead, maybe I want to look out 3 months, 2 weeks, 3 months, whatever span of time you want to look at. What do I want to accomplish by the end of 2020? That's a big one, right? By 2021, where do you want to be? So the first thing to do is get clear about that and be realistic about that. And the next thing you want to do is once you kind of define your goals, define what that looks like. What does that really look like? What does that look like? So for instance, Jason has his coaching. What does that look like? How many parents, let's say, does he want to be working with? That's just an example. I have to look at how many companies do I want to be working with? Where do I want to take? So I'm looking at what I want to do first. Let's get that really well defined. Then I want to consider the successes that I've achieved in similar goals, right? So how am I going to attract? What's my best way to attract talent? I mean, to attract clients, for instance, in thinking about me or thinking about Jason. So the next thing you have to do is think about your successes. Where are you successful? And how are you going to go about creating the results? Because if you can replicate that success, that's your zone. That's working in that really powerful potential zone that helps you and that you can grow. And then, so you've identified what results you want. You've identified where your successes are. You write down your goal, and then you decide. You look at, okay, so what talents can I tap into? What areas of my potential can I really tap into to achieve each one of your goals? Because you may have goals that are for business, maybe goals for family, or things like that. So which of my talents can I tap into to really help me achieve that goal? It's kind of a little formula that's helpful and that drives clarity so that you can achieve what it is that you hope to over the time frame that you hope to achieve it.
You have to kind of pause, don't you, and really think these things through. And I think some of us, like maybe me, we don't want to, we just race off into the next thing. But that's how we learn,
Well, Rhonda, if you love talking, so all you need to do is get your little phone out and just say it into your phone. I mean, somehow we get awfully limited because if I say you've got to write down your goals, you're going to think very limited. You're going to say, well, that means I got to get my notebook or I got to get my word out. And we make it hard. Don't make it hard. Use whatever medium you want, whatever tool helps you, write it on a chalkboard, put it on your refrigerator. Just make it super simple because honestly, all the thinking's going on anyway. I mean, it's happening anyway. It's happening in your dreams. It's happening while you're talking to somebody. Jason's thinking about goals right now. So
Jason's always thinking.
Look at his eyes going up.
He's just always thinking. There's stuff going on in that head. We don't even know. We probably don't want to know.
Yeah, so don't make it hard. My easiest advice is make it super simple. Just put it on if it's just a sticky note, that's fine. Don't get too hung up. I tell people don't try to answer all the questions and don't get hung up in the, in the means of getting it done. Just do what's easiest to you. Stick it on your camera. right at where your nose is, I think, Rhonda, and that way you can always see it.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You've hit on something for sure for me, that I know that my solution, or one of my first ways of tackling a goal, a challenge, anything, is going to be to talk about it. Even
Exactly.
even as I process, I
Yeah.
need to talk it through. I'm not going to go think it through.
Right.
I'm going to go talk it through, because I think as I talk, which is like foreign to you, right, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you, my wife, other people with communication very high. Number one for Katie. Is it number one for you? I always get
No,
okay. It's like top
but
three.
it's the bane of his existence, is
Right,
what he's trying to tell you.
So it's always been a challenge to understand that processing of information as it's being broadcast, as it were. Whereas I have to kind of sit and ruminate for a while on things. So it's makes for an interesting dichotomy, if you will.
Yeah. I the way I do it is I do start with thinking. That's how I start. How I step into a room is to think what's in the room. You know what I mean? Who's in the room? What's in the room? It's
And I can't wait for the surprise.
Yeah. So
I'm like, oh my gosh, what's behind that door? Let me open it fast. I don't think about what's in there. I just know there's a people over there.
Yeah.
There's got to be if there's a person there, I'm going to open the door.
Yeah. So how we approach our goals and our successes and go through this little process I gave you should be unique to you. The key is that at the end of at the end of whatever you've done, if you've talked it out with your husband, if you've written it on a piece of paper, if you've sat and ruminated an afternoon, just make sure you write it down. It's got to be written down. It's got to be written down and put where you see it. And then just make sure that you really thought through and can visualize or think through, how will the successes of my past help me get what I want for my future?
Sure. Yeah. Jason?
Cynthia, how do you go about transforming your potential into actual performance?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. First of all, potential, as we know, is all about possibility, right? It's what's possible. So it's what's possible within us. So I've given you kind of a little step through as we've talked through this today. The first thing to do is really look for those clues of your talents. What's easy for you? What gives you enjoyment? What makes you enthusiastic? Can't wait to do it. What can you do with excellence? It's really, really super. And then when you think about your clues to talents and you kind of think about those, think about your successes. How did you get there? What of your talents, which ones of your talents did you use to be successful in the past? And then you set up your goals. You go through that little process of, what do you want for your future? What do you want to get done in 2 weeks? Make that time span make meaning for you. What do you want to get done? I like to say a year, but maybe you are 3 months, maybe you're 2 weeks, maybe you're today. Doesn't matter. Just set up what it is that you really want to achieve, and then decide on which of those talents are going to help you in each one of your goals. So it's kind of I was trying to make it within, I figure if we can count to 5, we can remember 4 things or 3 things. So there's 4 little things.
I love it. It's the KISS philosophy, which is the best one out there. Keep it simple,
yeah, that's
stupid.
and that's 4. That's 4. So that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of times we get out here, we learn about some of these things and how to grow and develop, but we're trying to do it on our own. Let's talk about the power of coaching, because I know you're a fabulous coach. In fact, you're my coach in certain areas. And I'm so grateful, because I don't know, I have to have coaches around me, and I don't know how people don't. So help us understand what exactly that coaching relationship is, and how that can be beneficial.
Yeah, as a woman, one of the things I've noticed is that women like to get together with other women and talk things out. And that's real common. Men do that too. But, a lot of times we think that we can either do it ourselves. Let's go get a resource. Let's go take a course. Let's go, and all of those things are useful for human development. I just want to say the one thing that our friends don't necessarily do, unless they have a coaching nature, they don't hold us accountable.
Mm,
And
that's
the
so
other thing,
true.
and the other thing, they don't necessarily bring the kind of experience helping you get through things. So, if your friend will hold you accountable, and they will, and they bring the kind of experience to get you through what you need to get through, what you need to accomplish. Either there's a lot of reasons to have a coach. But really what you find is that you need a coach when you discover that it's not within you to achieve something that you want to achieve. So a lot of people go to fitness instructors. Those are coaches, right? Because they realize they can't do fitness on their own. Or parents, they haven't parented before. So they need a coach, somebody that's been through it, that has good methods to help them get through. Incredible Kids is a great method to help parents. So what you're looking for, sorry, go ahead, Jason.
I would just chime in there. I mean, I think it's important that all parents, especially if they're first time parents, seek out a coach. And I'm not just talking about what we're doing, but find somebody that can speak into parenting style, discipline, things like that. I mean, I just think that in the day and age that we are, and with all of the issues going on in the world, that especially those younger parents that are having children could really seek out somebody to speak into their lives and talk to them and teach them.
Yeah, there's so many areas of our life where we could really use good coaching. And the reason that we use those coaches is because we need a safe space. We need somebody that we can know, like, and trust to work with us, who we know will hold in confidence those things that we share, who knows that the person speaks from experience to speak into and help them come up with new ways of doing things, new things to try to get a better result, a better outcome. And I've been slow, believe it or not. I started 10 years ago, my business. I didn't want to be a coach. And it's kind of ironic to me that I'm now in a coaching position. But what I realized when I finally said, okay, I'll be a coach, is that I've always coached. I've always been a coach to help people think, to find their voice, find their ideas, find the way that they want to do things, help them see and be a reflection of the great talents that they have. So it's funny to me in a way that I'm a coach now, but I absolutely love it. And I see such value. And we do a little coaching, Rhonda and I, back and forth. And it's always so helpful. And I have coaches as well. So for instance, I really suck at marketing automation. And so I look for people to help me in those spaces as well, coach as well. So use a coach to really help you develop and make progress on things that are really important to you.
Yeah, I think coaches see things that you can't see. You're too close. Like, you said before, everything you know about you is so close, is as close as the nose on your face. And so a coach really kind of opens up that perspective for you and shows you a different view that you cannot see right now, wherever you are, whatever the challenge is. So I think that those of us who are in the industry, we have a coach all the time. Or, it's very rare that I go, that I've like switched to another coach, and there may be a couple months that I don't have one while I'm looking because I've got something new that I need to go a different direction, and that's okay too. So as long as you always, we always know that we can go back to solve those challenges and have another more eyeballs on the situation.
The thing is that you can get there faster with a coach. I mean, that's the truth. And a lot of people worry about the money involved. And of course, there's a broad range. But honestly, the productivity that you gain more than pays for your coach. So the leadership in the situation where I work, I can help people gain 10, 20% greater productivity. Well, for a manager, that would mean 4 people that you hire instead of 5, right? I mean, It's huge, the amount of money that you can help companies or families save. When you think about raising your kids up right so that they're strong individuals and foregoing what it's going to cost for a psychologist to help them work through the problems of their lifetime. I mean, it's worth it. In the end, it's always worth it to get a good coach.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we do start our children early understanding that process, because they have, we have athletic coaches and piano. Your piano teacher is coaching you through. And so, Debbie, what is the cost of not investing in a coach? What an amazing question, because I think that a lot of people don't weigh that cost out to understand that, listen, by the time you reach out to a coach, oftentimes you've already wasted time.
Yeah. This is a great way to say that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Debbie. That's perfectly said.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Cynthia, it's been so good to have your take on things and your information. I think, I may have to go sit down with my notebook again after your advice here today. And, we just are so grateful that you would come out and hang out with us and share what you know about coaching.
Well, anytime you need someone to hang out with, I love it. So
I'm just honored. A phone call away, sister.
Always.
Cynthia, we really appreciate you being part of our Discover Coaching series here in the first week of Coach Talk TV. It's been just really great information. In fact, I want to go back and listen to it again, because I felt like I kept getting distracted by all of the stuff going on behind the scenes here. But just some really good stuff that I want to take to heart and really look into. So thank you for being here. How can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Cynthia J. Stewart, MBA. They can find me on Facebook. I've got Cynthia J. Stewart there, as well as I'm starting my Evermore Services page on Facebook. They can find me on evermoreservices.com. So those are some ways. Cynthia at evermoreservices.com is always a good way to be in touch with me.
Awesome. You guys go out there and get to her website. Find Cynthia J. Stewart across all social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Evermore Services.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Another great show, Rhonda.
Wow, she's amazing. Isn't she great?
Yeah.
I love when I get to talk to her.
Bet you do.
I know. I talked to her today, in fact. But it was mostly about today.
Oh, okay.
So, wow. Okay. So who do we have up? You know what? We have got a treat for y'all tomorrow for sure. We are going to be talking to Cecilia Dentino. I've got to go and find it, so I make sure that I'm at the right place. Cecilia will be here tomorrow with her partner, Hannah Starobin, and they are going to be talking about women over 50 and new possibilities. Huh?
Are you going to need me for that?
Well, I need you to run the back office and all.
I don't know that I have a lot to contribute to that conversation, but hopefully I will learn a lot.
You will.
Because I'm dealing with you and other people in my life. I need to know a lot about that particular subject.
I think you do. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Let's see. We are tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central.
1 o'clock. So you can find us on our Facebook page, Coach Talk TV. Watch us live there. Please go to YouTube, look up Coach Talk TV. You'll see our little TV logo. Follow us, like us, subscribe. That's what the word I was looking for YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We're looking to get more subscribers there so we can get the official vanity domain name and all that sort of thing. And we really want to get our YouTube channel going. You can also find us. Well, you can find Rhonda at what are your? You've got like 3 different.
You can find me at Activate Your Coaching Business right here on Facebook. I'll pop the link in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay, and then you can find me if you look up Baffrey on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn. You should be able to find me, and you can look up, as you heard the ad earlier, Baffrey Coaching on Facebook to learn about our incredible family coaching experience.
There you go.
So it's been another great day here on the Discover Coaching series, Coach Talk TV. For Rhonda Boyle, I'm Jason Baffrey. Have a great day.
Later.